Yeah, originally the prairie was about 36 square miles. Bowl Prairie is a portion of the prairie of that 36 square mile area. That's about 25 acres, really. It was probably larger, but at the beginning of this summer, we had about 25 acres, including an amphitheater feature, which we were talking about as we got on the bus here.
I'm one of five siblings, and three out of the five actually were raised in the barracks on Camp Grant. So that was some history that I don't know much about, but I should.
I'm sorry, Jen, your siblings did?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Excavated out a little bit in the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, which was a federal program, and that was to like hold events and that sort of thing. But in doing so, there was a little bit of degradation there. So at that time, like the amphitheater suffered ecologically speaking, but it became more important for people. And just to the right of those UPS planes, there's the north edge of the amphitheater, um, that historic amphitheater structure that's been, excavated out, kind of graded out for this construction activity. And then as you move to the south and east into like rougher terrain, rougher vegetation, that's you start to see like what was actually high quality prairie. A lot of that rougher vegetation is American plum, is downy hawthorn, which are really, really important early nectar sources for that rusty patch bumblebee. Yeah, one thing to keep in mind is just the vegetation quality improves as you move from north to south. So the highest quality vegetation is towards the south, kind of where we're headed to right now. And one thing that I like think about when I look at that, even though it's small for a remnant, that's pretty significant, the size of it. And the colors that you see are the colors of the vegetation of this state, this time of year, prior to European American settlement.
All right. Part of our concern is that by this weekend, the prairie may not exist anymore. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And this could be a final opportunity. Some people actually were here as a child. This gentleman family grew up on this land, and we were hoping to be able to see it and maybe take some pictures of the land itself.
Unfortunately, I can't accommodate you. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So I'll turn around, and Jim and Kervin are here for a minute. Let me go ahead and turn around.
Okay. I got nothing for you. I was just told to, to stop people from videotaping. So,
Oh, to stop them from videotaping.
yeah, video. Yep.
Okay.
So,
Because we already know.
wait, you're videotaping this right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, please, I'd have to ask you to please turn this off then.
We get a call from Birdwatcher, a former board member, former board president, Dan Williams. He calls and he's like, "Are you aware of the earth moving at Bowl Prairie?" And we say, "No, what's going on?" And he's like, "It's pretty severe. You should check it out." So August 8th, we go out and we look, and lo and behold, yeah, I mean this had happened. So we went out in the prairie like we always do because we're managing the thing for invasive species, and yeah, so tried to take what estimations we could of the scope of the damages there, and then found the rusty patch bumblebees, and from there forward, that's when the whole cease work order started. I mean, it's just they're a federally endangered species, so like it was the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service that stepped in to provide that cease work order. And we think it should be extended so that we can do study of the things that we were talking about in the bus before, like whether or not we've got queens hibernating and emerging in the spring to take advantage of those early flowering shrubs, or whether or not we actually have physical nests of bumblebees, which we think is entirely possible. I mean, they're generalists, yes, but they need a lot of small mammal dens, and there's no shortages of like small mammal dens and loose, unconsolidated, soil material to work with on that slope. So that was August 8th. Bumblebees said hello. They said, "I'm here. Please save me," basically. And it's not that we don't want the airport to continue to have the success that they're having. Obviously, cargo transport being what it is, and everyone's reliance on getting that stuff quickly. You know, Amazon blowing up in this area, you'd think, like with Amazon trying to be a company that prides itself on being a sustainably driven company, or you know, like their company, what's the guy's name? Bezos, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bezos.
going up into space and coming back down and saying that like, wow, we really got to save this place. Well, that's clearly bullshit.
Starts
Right
here.
right here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, let's. They're such a huge company. They've got such a massive amount of money behind their name. Let's see them put their money where their mouth is. We've got, you know, we've gone through the people that we think we should have, and we haven't heard anything back from them yet. So we're hoping that, you know, they could change the game. They could come in and say, look, we want to do this. We want to work with Chicago Rockford International Airport, but we want to do this in a way that doesn't disrupt the processes that have been in place for, you know, 8 to 10,000 years, that have been, you know, important for people, that have been important for all the wildlife around here that we know and have continued to document. Right? All the birders in this area know this place.
We've been encouraged to move on.
Okay.
Yeah.